Well, if I didn't know better, I'd say it looks like our rental car's on fire. Which wouldn't be the best start to the day, to be honest.
Well, another day, another adventure. I'm just helping Tom get out of the car park because it's quite tight. Yeah, this way, definitely this way. Yep. Yeah, this way, still this way. Down the road. Perfect. On a scale of 1 to 10, how helpful was I then? 0. Right then, first stop of the day, and well, it's the Jiao Pass. Again, ignore the pronunciation, but we came up here yesterday, or in the car we came up the road yesterday, but couldn't see anything, as you'll have noticed if you watched the last video. But today, well, today the views are amazing. Yeah, just trying to find something pretty to take a photo of. It's a bit frustrating because there's amazing cloud over that mountain there. But to get there, you've got to get past this mountain, and that's, well, looks like a walk that's not inconsiderable, and this is not the place that we were trying to get to this morning, so I actually never got time to do that, but never mind. It's lovely to be in such a magnificent place. I mean, I can't moan that much really because you are being helpful holding the filming camera, but I would really appreciate if you'd just go there. Tom isn't going up there. I mean, it's only like half a mile and you've got your trainers on, but that would make a brilliant, just a little human on top of this little mound.
We'd be 2 minutes, you said. It's been hours.
You'd better get used to that, to be honest. So you're not going to go up there?
Nope.
Tom's going to great lengths to avoid the mud.
You won't need your walking boots, he said.
Well, I don't have much sympathy because why didn't you just put them on?
You said we would be 2 minutes.
Well, I've not been here before and it was prettier than I expected. You're absolutely sure you don't want to walk up there for the benefit of my photo?
Yep.
So basically that is an unbelievable scene. I think it works really well, and I think what I'm going to try and do is just try and get a person from another photo to put on top of that rock, because it would work perfectly for perspective, because it's a huge scene and I've gone in really tight with the super long lens, which I think I'll do a lot today because the compression will really help with the mountains and the clouds. And yeah, I'm just going to try and find a person from another photo because I think it'll really make it. Also, I framed it with most of the shots that I've just took with basically not including the sky, because as I've said before on this channel, a lot of the time if you don't do that, it can make your imagination wonder just how high the mountains go, so that works quite well too. So yes, I'm trying to have a think about how I can take a photo of a person for that image. I did take some just of that mountain up there, and maybe there'll be a person that I can include on that rock, superimposing. A lot of people won't like that. A lot of people don't really like Photoshop stuff and things that aren't real, but I'm not a documentary photographer and I'm not really precious about it because I think it'll help tell the story. So that's my view on it. Anyway, next stop. Sat nav all plugged in? Yep. Let's go. Does it definitely say chili on them?
There's pictures of 3.
You would expect some heat with that amount of chili on the packet. I'll show there, ladies and gentlemen. You'd think there'd be some chili in that, wouldn't you? There's not.
Either that or my blocked nose is working.
Well, yeah, you do have a cold. That's more like it. Today's view is exactly the same as the board. Well, luckily, we seem to be out the wind, although I assume it's temporarily. And we've come on a walk to, I don't know, once again, just one of the walks that you can do here at Tre Cime. Very nice lunch. Those crisps definitely weren't chili. I think they were more like bacon. And it was 30 euros. The toll road was 30 euros up here, which I thought was quite steep. But then again, so was the road. So probably wouldn't want to walk up it. Can I have one? Mint. Right, we've come off the main path down one of the little offshoots because it felt like a highway, to be honest, a highway of tourists. there's one surefire way of making you feel like you're not on an adventure. It's walking on a path with hundreds of other people. So we've come down here to try and see something a bit different to what all the other coach loads of people are seeing. Oh, the wind's gone. I don't mind being surrounded by people in a city, but when you're in the Alps, it's nice not to be. Also, another thing that's nice, Tom has learnt to put his orange waterproof on for photos without me even telling him that I want him to now. So that's good. Day 3, no need for a reminder. I like your coat, by the way.
Thank you.
Nice colour.
Don't get lost.
It's a beautiful looking place, this. It really is, especially out of the wind and away from all the tourists. But I think it's also quite a difficult place to photograph. It's quite difficult to find real sort of things to focus in on, both in terms of, well, you know what I mean by focus. But yeah, I'm finding it quite difficult. I imagine it's the sort of place that you need to come to a few times in lots of different conditions to start to really appreciate where the compositions and the stories are in this particular location. However, this behind me, I don't know if you can really see it, this looks a little bit different, and when the sun goes down, because it's backlit at the moment, which is not ideal, but when the sun goes down, I think that looks like the sort of place you can get some real nice shots. I mean, that's quite a bold thing to say. I might get over there and find that I can't take any good photos, but I imagine, I mean, it looks pretty dramatic, so I think that'll be a good bit of fun. A couple of hours till that happens. Should we have our second lunch?
Yep.
Good news! I could be wrong, wouldn't be the first time, but it looks like my location, you definitely can't see that, but my location currently, I'll take a screenshot, is outside a national park, and therefore I think I can fly a drone, as long as I don't fly over that mountain and sort of over there, because that's the start of a national park. I'm not 100% sure, but then when you fly a drone you never are, because the laws are all over the shop, to be honest, in most countries. I'll give it a go. Basically, because I'm enforcing Tom being out at sunset, typically, I'm having to make sure that he eats every 2 to 3 hours and doesn't have to wait too long before dinner.
Regular carbohydrate snacks.
Quite. I mean, if I'm going to want him to march off into the distance for a subject for a photo, then
You never said that was part of the plan.
eat your lunch. Right then, it feels like we're on a proper adventure now because there's nobody else about, although I suspect where we're going, which is where I've pointed out a couple of times, I don't know what it's called, obviously, I suspect there's going to be a lot of photographers there because I think it's quite a popular photo spot. And I'm not really always a fan of going to popular photo spots for photos because naturally it's going to be difficult to get anything particularly original, but in the Dolomites you can't really avoid that because everywhere is very well photographed. And to be honest, as long as you go to these places with the intention of going to them because you've seen them in photos and they look amazing in photos and therefore you want to go and see them rather than just go and get your own photo, then I don't think it matters. As long as you enjoy the experience of actually being there as well as getting a nice photo, then that's what counts. If you go there just to get a photo the same as everyone else has done, then I'll be honest, I don't really see the point. But I really want to go and see what it looks like with my eyes as well as with my camera, so just got this big climb to do before we get there. I don't like that you're always in front of me on the climbs. It doesn't make me look very good. Well, the wind has died down, which I'm glad of because I wouldn't want to be up here with gale force winds like we had before. Look at that. Bit sketchy. I've seen so many photos of this place, but it looks even better in real life, as is often the case when you go to places in real life. I mean, I'll definitely get a photo anyway, but well, can I get a photo? Can you? Are you alright standing over there at some point? Not quite as much of a jaunt as the one this morning, no? If you're wondering why I seem to be so obsessed with having people in images, I'm not really obsessed with it, but they're brilliant for perspective. So for instance, this is an amazing scene, but you can't really get a sense of the scale without having something that you know the size of in the frame. And a person is quite good at that because you know that a person is probably between 5 and 6 feet typically. And that kind of just helps show how massive that is. I don't know if you can see Tom. He's there. He's You've very kindly gone to scout out for me. And the plan is to get a photo of him just, well, stood there really, probably. And that should help with the scale, if you see what I mean. I would estimate that this is going to require a focal length of maybe about 25, something like that. That's on micro four thirds, so 50 full frame equivalent. Okay, all good. I think I've got the image that I came for. I will say I cannot believe that there are no other photographers here. I mean, there was another one at the start, but I was expecting like a line of 30 tripods along here and lots of people queuing to get to the top for the sunset. There's nobody. There's absolutely nobody. Can you believe we have this place, this whole place, to ourselves? Ridiculous. All good. Thanks, mate. You look very James Bond in your all black, I must say.
Ooh, that's something.
So how have you found your first 2 or 3 days of modelling work?
Ups and downs. Good is seeing views like this. Bad is having to run a marathon back and forth for your Instagram views.
I think that the beauty of you being my little brother is I don't have to pay you. Whew. You might be able to see that hotel down there. That'll give you a sense of scale. That is massive.
Well, that's that. The trip's over. I'm back home now, which is sad. I did just think I'd quickly mention though that I'm going to do a video all about a lot of the images that I got on that trip and how I edited some of them, because the last ones on that video, for instance, like a couple of them were just snapshots and another one I actually spent a lot of time editing, and I thought I'd make a video about that process and just about some of those photos in general. So that's coming up, as are another Italy video and 2 Slovenia ones. It's just that the trip, sadly, is over. Ugh. Thanks for watching.